What up, crew? In this episode, I'm going to show you how I transformed my living room from this into this wannabe log cabin. Let's check it out. Joe P. Kirchman here, and this t-shirt segment is brought to you by Oregon. So I needed a spot where I could have a headquarters to make these films. And since housemate Hugh wasn't using this corner of the living room, I decided I would take it over. The Skip Bandit took a door from a closet and left it for me. Now, if you haven't heard of the Skip Bandit, stick around and you'll get a little bit of a backstory. So I took the door and I'm going to use it as part of the base of my shelf. I also found some boards and cut the ends flush, and we'll use these as support. Now here's a good tip. When pre-drilling holes for screws, I measured the drill bit next to the screw to know that the threads will grip the wood. I'm going to put these boards on the back side of the door and pre-drilling all the holes so that the wood doesn't split. I put 3 screws on each board. When I lined it up, I noticed it kept leaning back off the wall because the boards and door were warped. So I just screwed everything to the wall. Now, if you want to see the most awkward way to swap a drill bit for a screw while holding everything in place, just watch these skills. The second one was much easier. Then I brought in another plank, but it was a little too low in the front, so I used another board to prop it up. I'm screwing the two together, but making sure the screws are short so they don't go into the couch. And now the moment where we come to the Skip Bandit. We know he was born in London, but somewhere along the way he got into trouble and was thrown into the slammer. He stumbled upon a pair of sneakers and some 3D printed orthotics. Air Jordans to be precise. He then made a daring escape. Now in England, the dumpster is informally known as the skip, and the bandit skips from skip to skip, searching for little treasures and leaves them for me and my projects. He found another wooden panel, but this had a bunch of staples in it, so I tried a couple ways of getting these out. One with a screwdriver, and that was okay, but then I thought my Leatherman should have a try, and that was fine. But I ended up giving my nippers a chance, and the staples and the boards eventually came out. I'm using this as my backdrop, and sadly covering my periodic table of beer poster. I just screwed these plates into the 2 boards. That way I can put a lot of stickers on it and not worry about damaging the wall. Alright, I still think it's too dark in here, especially this whole area. So, what we're going to do, take some screws, drill them in, here to here, run a wire. Hopefully that'll lighten things up. Let's get drilling. So this is a nice shot of my boxers here, and I'm running the wire between the screws to use as a track for the lights. And voila! Now these 2 lights up here work really well, but it was still a little too dark, and I also had these 2 halogen lamps for outdoor use. So I screwed them to some boards, and then next was to get some lampshades. I found some at the end of the day on the way to the pub, but it was snowing outside, so I decided to make a fashionable hat and mittens with the items that I had. Now, it was nice that they wrapped these in plastic since it was snowing outside, but they're kind of weirdly wrapped. So, we're gonna put on our protective shades to open these shades. Whoa, that joke was like Inception 3D worlds colliding. The most annoying way to have ever wrapped a lampshade. Okay. Beautiful. So I put some of the 3D printed items that I've made here. We'll get to those in later episodes. And I gotta say, I kinda dig the place. If you guys have any tips, feel free to put it in the comments. Go easy on me. Hope you like it. I'll leave you with a quote.